Hey folks, Mark Johnson, tech-snobs.com. I'm going to do a head-to-head. Got the HTC One X Plus on the left, Droid DNA on the right. Now, both of these are definitely the top two Android smartphones from HTC out currently. Both have some very nice qualities and features to them. And let's just kind of start off with some of the differences. Obviously, number one difference you can see is the size. This has got a 4.7-inch HD 1287, I think 768 display here on the HTC One X Plus. And this one has a Super LCD 3 1080p display, which is the best display on the market on the Droid DNA. So those are probably the two biggest glaring differences with the device. They have very similar, builds in the, from the aspect they look very similar. The Droid DNA does support wireless charging, which is great. And it also, has a back LED, which is kind of cool. It will light up when you have a message or something. So if you have the phone face down, that's something else it has. They both have the Beats audio. They both have the same camera sensor for the most part. And they both have HTC Sense 4. Now, it is Sense 4 Plus on the Droid DNA, which has a few more features to it. But some of the other things, they both have quad-core processors. And they both they move very, very quick, which is definitely a great thing. Probably some of the things that actually this does have Sense 4.0 Plus as well on the HTC One X Plus. They both have Jelly Bean out of the box, which is great. Still not a lot of phones with Jelly Bean out there, so that's definitely a good thing. And probably another thing that I would probably say that makes these phones, kind of stand out from each other is you got the batteries. And then you have the storage. Now, this is where the HTC One X Plus is going to win. It has 64 gigs of storage on this phone, which is just fantastic. For $199 price, you're going to get 64 gigs of storage. And for a lot of people, that's really, it's just a game breaker because you can put so much more music and movies and so forth on the device. Even as we see, and we can get a nice view, 54 gigs. Available, just right off the jump. So that's very, very good. Some other things about this device. The screen it looks very good. There's no problem there. The battery life is definitely so-so. It's nothing to write home about. It's okay, but it doesn't really impress me all that much. And then another one of these things about the device that I find to be, probably not one of the best things is it only has, let's see, it's only got 1 gig of RAM on here. And I found that to be on the first One X to, at times the device would slow down. I really haven't noticed too much slowdown with this, but, 1 gig of RAM now is kind of, it's not top of the line anymore. It's just just a little bit step back. So that's where the Droid DNA has got 2 gigs of RAM, better screen on it. Obviously, the biggest downfall, I'd say, of the DNA is the fact that the storage is, a measly 16 gigs. And if I zoom in on this, I'm only going to have 6.9 gigs free. So that's just not a real great, feature from an aspect. It's real 1080p, and you just don't have a lot of place to put your, movies or music or any of pictures and stuff. So you're going to be more limited on the Droid DNA. Now, the main factor, though, that's going to decide for a lot of you is which carrier. AT&T exclusive, Verizon exclusive on the Droid DNA. So it's kind of a thing where if you're on AT&T, your best solution is going to be the HTC One X Plus. If you're on Verizon, it's going to be Droid DNA. But I would also say, it kind of the way you look at it, this HTC One X Plus comes out just 7 months after the HTC One came out. So that's a very short turnaround. And I actually bought the HTC One X when it first came out. So it's kind of weird that it was very, very short amount of time before this one came out. And then not only did they come out with this, they came out with the DNA, which even has better specs overall. So this head-to-head, I'm going to give the slight edge to the Verizon Droid DNA. And the reason is because the Droid DNA's got a better screen. It's got wireless charging. And it's got a little LED on the back. It's just got more hardware features overall, more RAM. I do believe the storage can be a big deal, but if you're using Dropbox and you're using a lot of features like that, You know, you can use the cloud, and if you're on Wi-Fi, that's not a big deal. I just think that for the same price, the Droid DNA gives you more cutting-edge features than HTC One X Plus does, and that's just. And then if you want to put it to you this way, if you had an HTC One, would I suggest upgrading to the One X Plus? And I'd say no, it's not a big enough jump. But I could justify going to the Droid DNA because the screen's bigger. Like I said, you get wireless charging. You just get some more features with more RAM. Just overall, just a better package for the same price. So both great phones. I mean, obviously, if you're on AT&T, you know, you're not going to switch, or Verizon bad in your area, it's still going to be HTC One X Plus. If you're on Verizon or considering going to Verizon, Droid DNA, it's a tough one to beat. Thanks for watching, folks. Check out the site, tech-snobs.com. More coverage is going to be there. Follow me on Twitter at @TechSnob. Thanks for watching. Take care.